Today on the show, Trump is mad on... Hold on a second. Oof. Today on the show, Trump is mad at his campaign manager. Kim Jong-Un rises from the dead. Murder Hornets, Carole Baskins, and if we have time, I'm going to get my eyebrow pierced live right here on the show. This is GENO in the house. Hey, cheers to you. And welcome to the big shindig. My name is GENO. Thank you for joining me. If you're anything like me, you've been wearing a mask everywhere you've gone today. And not because I'm scared of catching coronavirus or spreading it. It's just I had a bunch of gray hairs in my beard and I wanted to cover it up because I haven't been able to buy any just for men. But luckily, I remembered I had a Sharpie marker. So I colored in all the grays. And I think the beard is looking pretty good. How about you? You know, I have to say, I haven't really been bothered. This whole 2 months in quarantine, I've really enjoyed it. A lot of people are flipping out. They want to get out of the house. I personally have loved every second of it. That is until this week when something pretty bad happened. And it's kind of hard to talk about, but I feel like we're a family, so I'll share it with you. This week, I ran out of all my free trials with streaming services. I'm talking Netflix, Hulu, Hulu Live, YouTube Live, Nickelodeon, Boomerang. All of them offered me a free 7-day trial, which I took them up on. I used various email addresses so I could get more than just the 7 days, used different debit cards, and now I'm out of free trials. No one else will give me any free trials. And I don't know what they expect me to do, actually pay for their service. I'm certainly not going to do that. I'm not crazy. But I have to say, not having any more free trials to streaming services has made the quarantine start to feel a little sad. So just bear with me. Other than that, another thing I've noticed in quarantine is that there's way too much content out there right now, right? I mean, there's always been a lot of content, but now, during this whole coronavirus thing, there's way too much content. I mean, I don't even know who's watching this right now because chances are you have your own show to do, right? Everyone has a show now. Everyone's doing a cooking segment, posting videos. Your grandma probably has her own TikTok that's much more successful than this show. And I don't know. That's a little discouraging. There's too much to watch. And if anyone is watching right now, thank you. And I guess we should get right to it. We'll take a look at this week's headlines. This is Last Week in the World. The Pentagon finally officially released footage of UFOs last week, and this whole year is so screwed up that no one even cared. No one even batted an eye that there was footage from the Pentagon saying, here, there's these things in the air. We don't know what they are, but they do crazy maneuvers, and no one cares. Everyone was like, yeah, that's great. Let's watch some TikTok. See Chad say F you to his mom, and then do a little dance. In an effort to disinfect New York from the virus, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced he's going to be shutting down all the subways every night from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. every single night so that they can deep clean the subways. The shutdowns will impact 11,000 people nightly, but no one will miss subways at 2 a.m. more than this guy. It's Jussie Smollett. Remember him? That joke would have been amazing a year ago. You would have really loved it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. And hey, speaking of subways, while it's on my mind, I got Subway for dinner tonight. It's a foot long, buy one, get one free. Wonderful deal. Got to say, if anyone from Subway is watching, I'd love you to sponsor the show. But here's something that perturbed me. I call up Subway and I say, hey, I want a couple foot longs to go, okay? I'm going to be coming there. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to wear my mask. And I want 2 cookies, 2 chocolate chip cookies. And they say, okay, GENO, we love the show. Come on over, come get them. So I go get my Subway, bring it home, and I open it up, and there's no cookies. So I call up. I go, hey, it's me, GENO, from GENO in the house. I ordered the Subway. Remember, I had the 2 cookies. You didn't put the cookies in there. I want chocolate chip cookies. They said, okay, come on back. We're sorry about it. We'll give you your chocolate chip cookies. So I drive all the way back to Subway. They hand me the cookies, they apologize. I get all the way back home. To open my cookies. Does this look like a chocolate chip cookie to you? So 2 trips for these cookies, and this is like I don't know, macadamia nuts or something. I don't even like nuts. I'm allergic to nuts. There's definitely nuts in there. So, thanks a lot, Subway. Nothing like washing down a macadamia nut cookie with some whiskey. By the way, Jussie Smollett was the guy who faked being mugged in the middle of the night, and he said he went to Subway at 2 a.m. to get a sub. He made up the whole story, but it turned out Subways aren't even open at 2 a.m. So that's the joke. It was a good joke. In international news, as if things couldn't get any kookier, the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-Un, died last week, and now he's alive again. How about that? After some initial reports said he was gravely ill and others saying he died after a recent surgery, turns out he's fine. He was at a ribbon-cutting ceremony the other day, and we're all happy. Thank heavens, right? We were really pulling for the guy. You know, Kim Jong-Un is a chubby guy with a bad haircut. He's been accused of letting many people in his nation die. He's kind of a big bully that threatens people with nuclear war. So it only makes sense that our chubby leader with a bad haircut would tweet this about him. I, for one, am glad to see he's alive and well! Exclamation point. I think he even sent over some flowers and a teddy bear too. Trump is obviously a wonderful judge of character, just like his followers. In Trumpy news this week, the president was seen screaming at his campaign manager because his poll numbers have been low ever since the whole maybe we should inject disinfectant thing. So think about this. He said out loud, maybe we should think about injecting disinfectant into our bodies, and now he's mad at his campaign manager because his poll numbers have dropped since then, which is a lot like Nickelback being mad at their graphic designer because everyone hates their music. Oh, Trumpy Bear, you always keep things interesting. You know, speaking of evil villains with orange faces, how about them murder hornets, huh? As if viruses and UFOs and zombies in the streets weren't enough, murder hornets made their debut this week, and there's quite a buzz about them. I gotta admit, when I first read about the murder hornets, it said carnivorous hornets, and I thought it said coronavirus hornets, and I thought, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, will this virus get any worse? Now there's hornets involved, but it turns out this is a completely different thing. These are just carnivorous hornets that fly around, about yay big, biting the heads off of bees. They kill about 50 people a year, and this is the craziest part. They drive around on motorcycles. Did you know that? One expert said, if you see these murder hornets, keep away and alert the authorities. Keep away? If I saw one of these things, I would pack up my car and I would move across the country. Trust me, I saw a ladybug in my garage like 2 weeks ago. I haven't been back in there since, so I'm not going near a murder hornet. All right, here's a brand new segment for you. It's called That's How It Should Be Done. In Canada, a couple weeks ago, there was a horrific mass shooting where 22 people died. And last week in Canada, they just voted to ban assault weapons. And that's how it should be done. That's it. That's the segment. Just something to think about. All right, moving on now. You know, I think it's important, whether you're on quarantine, on vacation, or whatever you're doing, it's important to learn at least one new thing every single day. It's Fun Fact of the Day, sponsored by the Salvation Army of North Millwood Avenue in Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you guys for sponsoring this segment. Fun Fact of the Day. You're going to learn something brand new and go forth and brag to your friends about how much smarter you are than they are. Ready? So today's fun fact of the day is crystal meth was invented in Japan in 1919. So there you go. To all the racists out there who are blaming Asia for sending over hornets and viruses, how about all the good things they've done? Like inventing crystal meth. You know, you'd never have Tiger King if it wasn't for meth. So thank you, Japan. And speaking of Tiger King, it's time to do a little check into the world of entertainment. It's time for Hollywood Duty. Everyone's favorite alleged husband murderer, Carole Baskins, was the victim of an internet prank this past weekend. YouTube pranksters tricked Carole Baskins into thinking she was doing a remote interview with Jimmy Fallon. They had audio of Jimmy Fallon set up where he was asking her questions, but unfortunately, it wasn't really Jimmy and the whole thing was a prank. But listen, Carole, if you're watching, and I'm sure you are, the whole thing could have been much worse. I mean, think about it. You could have had done an interview with the real Jimmy Fallon, right? Like, oh my God, Carole, this is great. I'm freaking out, Carole. Oh my God. Oh, I love Tiger King. You would have had to put up with that. Nobody should deal with that, Carole. All right? But you're more than welcome to come on this show if you'd like. Before we leave you, though, I wanted to point out that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, or something like that, Mental Health Month. Point is, everybody deals with mental health problems, whether they realize it or not. And being in the situation we're in currently, there's a good chance maybe you're agitated, annoyed, depressed, or any number of things. So I just want to say you're not alone. We're going to get through this and plan some fun things to get through it. Maybe make tomorrow a holiday. Maybe tomorrow can be lasagna day for the family, or pizza party day, or everybody picks a favorite movie to watch. Do something fun, enjoy it. And if you're watching this and you know someone out there who's doing this quarantine alone, check up on them and see how they're doing. All right? That's it. Please, if you like this, subscribe and share it and like it and tell all your friends. That's been it. I think it's been another great show. This has been GENO in the house. Good night. Good night. There we go. And wear your masks out there.